What up, fight fans? This is Squared Circle Productions. I'm coming in with my new rant. This one is called Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte. Great fight? Too soon? Okay. First off, I'd like to say that I think Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte will be an exciting fight, but I'd much rather see it towards the end of 2016. Okay, now if you go back to one of my fourth or fifth videos that I made, it's called A Message to the Heavyweight Division. And in that particular one, there was a lot of things I talked about, but mainly I talked about how the heavyweight division's full of good young fighters, and that it's going to take the heavyweight division to come back, to bring boxing back to prominence, because when there's a dominant heavyweight champion, or at least a charismatic one, or an exciting heavyweight champion, then it brings out a lot of the celebrities and casual fans and people like that. And you know, it's just good for the sport overall. You know, there's an old saying, as the heavyweight division goes, so goes boxing. Okay, so in that particular video, I talked about how just this generation of guys is just going to have to suck it up, man, and just go out here and fight everybody. And it may mean that the belts may change hands, okay? But, I mean, that's what it's going to take. Somebody has to kind of set a standard of excellence and go for it. Because actually, you know, Vladimir Klitschko did set a standard of excellence for dominating the heavyweight division for as many years as he did. And you got to understand, whenever a champion dominates the division like that for such a long time, it is somewhat of a fall off, you know, because in boxing, it's not like football where one dynasty can take over another dynasty and possibly even be greater than the next dynasty. But in boxing, it's more like a situation where when you have a great guy like that, or a guy that does something that, like, have a stranglehold on the division for 10 years, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that don't happen but once every 30 years. So it's just going to take time. And it's not fair to these young guys to have to try to live up to that standard. All we just wanted to be is competitive and see good fights. Okay, but my thing about that is that they are at a point where they are fighting each other. But my thing is more the guys that lose. Okay, don't count out Christian Hammer. Don't count Bermain Stavern out. Don't count Bryant Jennings out. Don't count whoever you can't even count Klitschko out. Honestly, that's why they're gonna have a rematch. And don't count out guys like whoever loses this fight between Joshua and Whyte. You guys want to complain about guys not fighting the best, but then when they fight each other, then you have a tendency to act like the loser's just through. And man, honestly, I don't see it that way. And I don't think you should look at it that way either. I think you should be open-minded and understand that these guys, as far as skill level, they're all pretty much on the same level. And it's possible that a guy like a Bryant Jennings, he probably learned a lot in that Klitschko fight. So if he gets another chance at a title, he may be a very, very tough out. He may actually even upset whoever the current champion is. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to move on to the third point, which I kind of talked about slightly in the second one, and that is stop comparing the new guys to past greats and enjoy the fact that you're seeing young guys develop. Okay, at the end of the day, man, you got to learn how to be in the here and now. Okay, quit living in the past. That doesn't even matter anymore. Right now, boxing is exciting because you got a lot of good people and you really don't know the outcome, and that should be exciting. Now, you can't. It's not fair to them to try to compare them to Klitschko or any other of the greats of the past. You know what I'm saying? I mean, boxing is evolving anyway, so you got to be open to that evolution. Okay, which is going into my fourth point. Boxing is evolving. Young boxers are being trained as high-level athletes, not fighters. If you go back, the movie Undisputed, the first one, Bing Rams was talking about, you know, they talking about being an athlete. He said, man, I ain't no punk-ass athlete. You don't play fighting. This is real. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, that might have been an old philosophy. But in this new age, guys ain't trying to be punch drunk. Ain't nothing cool about seeing your favorite fighter barely can speak. You know what I'm saying? Have to be helped around places. It's not cool to see young guys with the onset of dementia, you know, in their 40s and 50s. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when these guys were articulating you know, you know, energetic, and now they barely can put a sentence together. That's not cool. And you know, the problem is these guys, you want them to be warriors and go out on a shield, and then when they're punch drunk and broke and got nothing to show for it, you go on with the next person. Nah, man, this young generation, Deontay Wilders and Tyson Furies and these guys, they gonna get what they came to get and turn that into movie deals and other type of stuff, and you know, do this for like 5 or 6 years, you know, and then retire with some money, with some fame, and moving on to something else. Because they look at it like they're athletes, okay, and they're approaching it from an athletic standpoint. So all this slugfest and blood and guts and all that, you're not going to see a whole lot of that. You're going to look at two highly skilled athletes putting on a display of athleticism in a contest that actually has something at stake. So you're going to have to be more up on what's going on now. Okay, hence I say, so fans have to adapt. You know, you can't keep having an old mindset when the athlete or the fighter of nowadays is not viewing it as a fighter per se. He's viewing himself as an athlete who is in fight sports, in combat sports. You understand what I'm trying to say? So there's the sporting aspect of it as well. Okay, so it's changing how we fight. Okay. My fifth point, on the other hand, time is not guaranteed, so you do have to take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves. So even though I would love to see Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte fade at the end of 2016, there's no guarantee that by the end of 2016 either one of those guys will be in a position to fight each other or for it to be a meaningful fight. So hey, on one level, you do have to kind of accept them fighting now. And we just have to be able to get behind and show our support to people no matter what. Whether they win or lose, if they put a good fight on, don't count them out of contention. Okay, and my last point I want to make, or it's more like not so much a prediction, but where do we go in the aftermath? Okay, looking down the road, does the winner try to challenge Glaskov for the soon-to-be vacated IBF title, or challenge the winner of Fury Klitschko 2 or Deontay Wilder? Something to think about. Okay. Again, we're probably 2 years away from an undisputed heavyweight champion, because the IBF is threatening to strip Tyson Fury of their belt if he doesn't face Glaskov as his mandatory, and he's already in the contract that he signed with Klitschko. If he beat Klitschko, Klitschko could get a rematch, and Klitschko is going to take advantage of a rematch. And like I said, we don't know. Klitschko could possibly win the belt back. You understand what I'm trying to say? But they're going to split the title up to where you probably have 3 champions by mid-2016. By this time in May or July of 2016, we could possibly have 3 heavyweight champions. Okay, so again, there's options for the winner of this fight. Okay, so we'll see, we'll just have to see. But looking forward to the fight, and I might give you my thoughts on the outcome, you know, after the fact. But again, comment, subscribe. Let's see what happens. Peace out. One love.